Aloha Star Family. This is Unity Grace and doing a little love stream on the eve of the full moon. A little stroll in the garden and surrounded by deer and bunnies. Woodpeckers are still out. There's lots of apples in the tree. Look at this tree, it's filled. There's such abundance of apples this year. Oh my goodness, look at them. Apparently this is a bumper crop and the colors are so amazing. Actually, there's this other tree in our garden here that I love too. These apples are super translucent, magical. Nature is so magical. And the deers are just hanging out over there, checking me out. Let me show you these super cool, super translucent apples. See if it's still light enough to see them. They pink translucent apple. Translucent apple in the palm of the hand. My favorite thing. Except I usually say golden apple. Oops. The fern is holding on to me. So, guided to drop in with everyone on this big full moon. Transitional times, yes. Feeling it? Yeah, it's big. This is a time of manifesting our biggest dreams. So, there's a story that says that when the slaves were emancipated in the U.S., a lot of the slaves stayed on the land with their slave owners because they couldn't imagine what to do with all that freedom. Oh, listen to that bird. They couldn't imagine what to do with all that freedom. And so a lot of slaves just stayed on the land of their slave owners. Right behind me is the little aquifer on this lovely land. Mini Wachoni, water is life. Oops, my headset is falling out. One moment. I put it in just to make sure we could hear each other. So this is the time of dream the big dream and bring it into form. This is the time of manifest action. Hang on, let me get this little earbud. I'm going to bring it into form. Silly little thing. There. Fix my bangs. Okay. So it's dream our big dream and bring it into form, and so that requires us taking some action. We, as a collective, have done amazing work on planet Earth in 2-strand DNA in 3D. And it's time to celebrate. Pat ourselves on the back, team. We've done a really good job. And now we are going to go forth and bring our dreams into reality, whatever those dreams are. Everyone has different dreams, and so I think I might have shared this on my last love stream, but according to the guidance, the free will experiment ended in March, at the time of Easter, when we successfully removed ourselves from the bondage of the cross of time and space. And so even though we've been having these experiences with time for a long time, is that bird poo on my chair? most people will probably be noticing right now that time is even more illusory than ever. And that's really cool, because as we transcend time, time is the final thing that the consciousness has to transcend, along with gravity, to remember its fifth dimensional capacities. So if you're feeling kind of weirded out about time, it's a good sign. And if your memory is gone, and if it went a long time ago, good thing. Don't worry about that, because as the electromagnetic poles neutralize, memory is no longer necessary. And in fact, memory is lost. The only thing that holds memory in place is the electromagnetic poles of the Earth and the old Akash, which fell away a long time ago. The lesser Akash. So what we've been doing for a long time is basically helping collectively, on whatever level we've been playing, to restore the archetypes to their original form. And the archetypes have been playing out in all of us in some way or another, and so there's been big work on the planet to do that. And all that work was done, and the 8-8 Lions Gate was the moment of success for me personally. It was the moment that I took the beautiful Standing Rock altar carpet that was given to me by the firekeeper at Standing Rock, and along with the water that I had carried all over the planet for 8 years, moving water, transferring water, loving water, blessing water, I made my last contribution, my last offering to the earth with that water, and rolled it up in the Standing Rock altar carpet, excuse me, and placed it in the earth. Because that story is complete, which we all know. And the full moon energies right now, even though none of these archetypal energies of the moon and the stars and all these things really don't affect our consciousness anymore if we've climbed out of those archetypes, for most people, they're still having an influence. And dream your biggest dream. So what is your dream, and what have you been working on? What have we individually been working on for ourselves? Who are the fractals of people that we resonate with, that we have been drawn closer and closer magnetically to? And what are the missions that we have been drawn closer and closer to, magnetized, stronger to, on our journeys home? Because, excuse me, because as a species ascends, it organizes like a hive. And the interesting thing about a hive of bees is that certain bees have certain missions in the hives, and they stick to those missions, and they stick to those groups within the hive. And that's the same with humanity. So there's nothing difficult to figure out now. It either is a yes or a no. It's very clear. And it's clear with so much discernment. So we don't have to struggle for an answer, and we don't have to struggle to know if something is resonant or not. Basically, we just go, does this feel like a full yes? And if it is, dive right in. And if not, then your fractal will materialize. Because we're all being drawn to our proper group dynamic now. And there is no one right way through the gates of interdimensionality except this. According to the cetaceans, they showed us that 62 of the 64 codons in the DNA are kind of dead ends if one tries to ascend through those individual genes. That said, the 35th gene gives us the greatest clue. Collapse our polarities into the singularity at the center called neutrality, and hold that field intact in neutral. And You've just earned your graduation birthright back through the interdimensional gates of creation and into the structures of creation itself. So all those cool science fiction movies and TV shows and all that kind of stuff is on its way. All right, so here in the grids of Albion, the story of Avalon was one of the archetypal stories that we worked with for a long time to restore. And what the guidance showed is that Avalon was really the... two bats just flew over. Avalon was kind of the surface romance story, and it went a little bit astray. But Albion, and if you check out the really amazing work of Lisa Renee, who's been one of the most epic Melchizedeks on the planet for a very long time, doing a whole lot of work to help restore humanity's consciousness and remind us that we do have a sovereign birthright as a self, not an ego self, but a self with source. You can read a lot about Albion in her work. You might even want to go to her August blog, where she covers a lot of really good stuff right now. So in the grids of Albion, which is Vancouver Island, something really amazing is happening, because the guidance always called these the sleeper grids. And so I have been guided to gather a group of 20 on a very special retreat center here, a 30-acre retreat center on the ocean, from August 31st to September 4th. And you might feel that you are one of those who are called, because we are being called as a council to come back together to unify the keys and codes within our auric fields, because we all fit together like puzzles. That's why everyone has a fractal out there. Everyone has a puzzle out there, and everyone is a puzzle piece to something greater. And the council that's being called forth here is the council that are the emissaries of unity consciousness, to hold a field intact to unlock the interdimensional gates to the realms of the Fae and the cetaceans, the star nations, the elvins, the elementals. Those, and the angelics, devics. Those aspects of creation that came into this earthly plane called Gaia Sophia, the living library, to interact and interface and share the best of all that we had to share, and learn how to merge those qualities together to make this gorgeous living library an even more amazing garden through our participation together and with her. So, yes, I have been guided to call forth this council, and this is a little call out. Pretty remarkable things are happening with who is stepping forth. And, oh, there's that bird poo on the chair. Yeah, we are having a lot of amazing contact experience with the ships and with the interdimensional realms. And on my own journey on the grids, singing the song lines in some of the very restricted areas where water was being influenced by military institutions and so on. In singing the song lines awake, I've watched stargates open before my eyes, because it turns out it's actually not that hard to open a stargate when you're aligned with love. When you're aligned with love, which is the 3015, which is holding a field of neutrality, where your field is no longer polarized, the interdimensional gates unlock very easily through sound and word and presence. And for some time, we have been working with the 1111 prime frequency to unify with all the other realms that are existing with us simultaneously in the exact same place, just at a slightly different frequency. So our eyes can't see them, and they can't necessarily see us, but in some of the realms they have far more attuned senses than we do in our physical human carbon-based vessels. Because we have been working ourselves up from something called the fall, which really has to do with a great experiment. And when we attune ourselves to the 1111 prime frequency, and the star knowledge bundles of the Lakota, Dakota, Chief Golden Light Eagle, Grandma Silver Star, they cover all these coordinates, because these are all about coordinates. When we transcend time and we refer to dates in time, we are actually not referring to dates in linear time. Now we're referring to coordinates, as though they are navigational coordinates. And the navigational coordinates not only refer to that which is outside of us, they actually primarily refer to that which is inside of us and unlocking the interdimensional gates. Because when we unlock the interdimensional gates within us, that emanation happens instantaneously as a reflection outside of us. So the 20 who are called to commune, and right now people are miraculously coming from all over the planet, because I've put out these simple coordinates. 20 people, August 31st to September 4th, for $1,111, but really it's for 1111. And we are being chosen and choosing ourselves as emissaries to open these gates through coming together and sharing the pieces and the coding that we carry. And all we have to do is check that ego at the door, which we've all been working on. And the check the ego at the door is really just about that coding in the 3015. Just collapse the polarities into the singularity at the center. That's really all it means, is to hold a field of neutrality. And the super cool thing, and many of us are having lots of experiences like this now with nature. As soon as we attune to that prime frequency, nature attunes to us again. And the deer on the property where I am residing, in beautiful Victoria, British Columbia, the deer are greeting me when I come home now. They actually come running up to my car like happy dogs. And they haven't come right up to me yet, but I'm quite amazed to experience this exchange with the deer and the bunnies and all these other amazing creatures, but the deer in particular. To me, it's a reflection of a level of attunement that's really quite profound. So, yeah, I really, I might even pick up another love stream. It's getting a little bit dark, but I really feel guided to send out support right now, literally to say to people, to all of us, if you're feeling pretty strange and unusual inside yourself and your mind maybe is going a little bit crazy or trying to figure it out, the singularity of the heart is what has been opening as the poles on the planet have been neutralizing. And as that singularity opens, the heart field becomes massive, and then the mind is collapsed back into the heart. And so the mind cannot understand or understand the process that is underway. So what is the best thing to do? Walk on grass with bare feet, swim in water, hug trees, connect with the elementals, because we are made of the elementals, and it doesn't matter how much technology we get into or how far down that rabbit hole we go. The bottom line is that these flesh suits are made of minerals and elements and the powers of love. We are created of this earth plane in these current flesh suits. And so all of the indigenous told us how to do this, to honor the elementals, to commune with nature, to come into alignment for what is occurring now. And as we go through the gates, the consciousness within a spirit can choose any experience it wants. It can go down super AI paths if it chooses. But this is the actual going through of the gates to get there. And so it requires a fine attunement with the structure of our current creation, our physical bodies, carbon-based turning into silica, and the capacity to hold a field of neutrality, which does not mean suppression. Neutrality means to be able to still the waters of the emotional body and just be present. Be present. Be present together, be present with each other. And now is the time to make your biggest dream real. So that's going to require a little bit of action on the part of all of us, because there's a shadow called fantasy. And fantasy is just about dreaming the dream. It just requires a little bit of structure and a little bit of action, a little bit of participation. So whatever that is for the individual, take the action steps, because it's coded in the 60th gene. Too much structure creates rigidity and stops the flow of magic. And just enough structure allows the magic to flow. Oh, I heard the deer. Just a little bit of structure is going to let the magic flow. So whatever that is for each individual, create the structure. Even if it is sitting down with a pen and a piece of paper and drawing out your dream. Some kind of action. Where's that little earbud? And then keep taking light steps upon the earth, moment by moment, miracle by miracle, as our transfiguration within us really begins to manifest as a reflection in our external world through the choices that we have made, that we have been planning for ourselves as we move back into that triple helix of creation. And don't be afraid. It's all good. Just the mind gets a little nervous when it doesn't know what the heck is going on. But here's the thing about 11:11. The guidance started really focusing on 11:11 for me in the summer. Just kept going 11:11, 11:11, 11:11. But not the date of November 11th. Now it's the prime frequency of 11:11. And the prime frequency of 11:11 is basically like, take the leap. Take the leap. We're standing on the edge of that cliff jumping jump. Now we got to take the leap. And we're all going to do it together. Even that little mosquito is coming. If you are called to be with us in the grids of Albion for this amazing opening of the interdimensional gate, and let me tell you, we are being incredibly guided with the coordinates of how to activate the physical flesh suits and how to unlock the interdimensional gates. We are being supported by many realms, and that confirmation is coming in from many people who are contacting me. And we are holding this resonant frequency together. Oh, here comes one of the baby deers. Oh my gosh. And the mama. Oh, I have a little baby deer with antlers walking up to me. I haven't seen a baby with antlers. How incredible is that? And the little friends. There's 3 deer coming up to me like they're my dogs from home right now. Hi guys. I would show you, but it's very dark out. Hi. How are you? 2 of them have antlers. I haven't seen these guys before. I've seen bigger ones with antlers. We have 3 little babies with antlers coming up to us right now. How profound. Right now they are approximately 8 feet from me. Hi, gorgeous. Oh, hi. I'll try to show you guys, but I don't think you're going to be able to see them. It's very dark. Oh, no, as soon as I move the camera, they stop. They don't want you to see them. Anyways, they are here with us. I love you. Yes, if you're called, please send 1111 to peaceloveandmiracles@gmail.com through PayPal. Our beautiful retreat is filling up quickly, and I gotta say, as always, I'm really profoundly amazed by people that just start messaging me and saying, I sent you my money and I already bought my tickets. And I'm like, wow, I'm just the messenger of the coordinates. I'm just doing as guided to pull this together. And I'm joyous for humanity. I'm joyous for the celebration. And our coming together here in Albion is going to be a beautiful celebration of song and laughter and beautiful meals connected with the elements and the minerals and the earth, and laying under the stars and communing with each other and patting ourselves and each other on the back and sharing our wisdom and sharing meditation and whale watching and beautiful celebration. And in 2016, me and Princess Diana did some big moves on the night of August 31st on the island of Ibiza on behalf of humanity. And from August 31st to September 4th, she came to me with some very big downloads of how to prepare the vortexes to open the stargates. And we are aligning with that amazing piece now here in Albion. So I love you all. Maybe I'll see you here in Albion very soon. Or maybe you will be communing with, oh, there's 4 deer. 5. Maybe you will be communing with other groups that are close to you where you are and connecting in with us as we continue to move into our 5th dimensional and beyond capacities as a consciousness transcending time and gravity, and holding together the container for the Earthship Merkaba and the dissolving of the veils. Those Alvins are just standing right on the other side of that interdimensional gate. And there's a lot of white horses with them. And they are ready for some celebration with us. There's a flock of birds flying over right now. So I'm going to hang out here with the deer, and it looks like the light is fading. So, yeah, joyous to do this together as a human family. And I am truly, truly so proud of us all, every single human on this earth plane, because we worked hard for this, and now it's the time of celebration. because a hero's journey isn't complete until the celebration has been had. And it is the time to have cake and eat it too. And on the 4th of September is my beautiful birthday. So I think it's a pretty cool way to celebrate. That's the day we'll be out with the whales. Oh my gosh, these deer are totally tuned in with us. That is so cool. They're like, I think they're coming to the retreat center. They're just getting the navigational coordinates for where it is now. All right, I love you. It's funny. I could just keep going on right now because I feel really connected to everyone who's on this call right now. Feels like a super, super special time, this miracle portal that we're creating right here, right now. And with everyone who is here and all the realms who are here with us. Yeah, it feels quite epic. So dream your biggest dream. And oh, the deer just took a big jump to grab an apple out of the tree. I've never seen a deer do that. He stood on his back legs and picked an apple. Now he's staring at me. He's like, you look tall enough, Unity Grace. Maybe you could get that apple I'll come get it for you, dude. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. He's just taking a big leap at the tree. That is so cool. And he's got stag ears. He's got horns. Oh, he really likes this variety of apple. There's other apples on the ground, but he really likes this tree. I think I'll go help him. I don't know, maybe I'll come on another love stream later because it feels like there's so much love in the field right now. Oh, and if this love stream is helpful in any way, please feel free to share it. 1111 prime frequency. It's the frequency to say, take the leap. Take the leap into our greatest dream. Take some action. Just simple action to begin to allow that dream to come into form. We love we. I love you. This mosquito on my nose loves me too. Mwah. Aloha.